So as you can see, we're all set to get going yet again, and today we are going to be going from one end of Spain to the other because there's a lot of distance to cover. But before that, right here in Barcelona, we have a very special surprise. Remember, one of the things that we're trying to do with this whole journey is to tap into that crazy passion that we appreciate so much in people around the world, and that is the love for the automobile. Well, we're going to introduce you to some people today who truly carry that flag and hold it up high. So we're in the northern part of Barcelona city. This is what used to be a small village many years ago and is now, of course, very much part of the city. It's called Sant Gervasi. And we're at a bar. We're at a bar called Padua Bodega. And the reason we are at a bar first thing in the morning, don't worry, we're not going to go in there and tank up. It's instead for these beauties behind me here. It's quite a fantastic sight. It's a part of Spain's automotive heritage as well. We'll tell you all about it and why these cars are here and introduce you to the people who are going to drive them. Yeah, this is, I think, just the coolest beer on tap. What a tap.
Look at the level of detail. The spark plugs are here, the distributor, the oil cap.
And it's an original engine.
1969, wow.
That is just terrific. Even this place is full of history.
Yeah, look at this, Siddharth. A crankshaft that dispenses beer. So as cool as the engine block.
So unusual.
Even got a piston and a conrod attached.
So unusual. And I, of course, love that wall.
Oh, yeah.
That is too cool. Yeah, can I have a wall like that, please? In my house.
Don't be wasted.
Yeah. So all those cars you saw outside, well, they belong to these people. Happy families tucking away into their breakfast because they're getting fortified for what's going to be a fantastic Saturday here in Barcelona. It's nice and sunny, it's perfect weather. Let's go meet them. Hola.
Hola.
Mark.
Buenos días. Good morning.
Siddharth, hi, good morning.
Hi, nice to
Buenos
meet you.
dias. It's a fantastic group of people you've got here. It's a fantastic set of cars as well.
Yeah.
Tell me about this. I mean, who are these people? What
we
about
are a
these
club
cars?
ubicated in Barcelona.
Yeah.
We are celebrating the 10th anniversary, so it's the 10th year that the club is going on. So we are doing one of our month meetings. So you are coming from India.
From India, yeah.
With the car. Nice adventure.
It is a grand adventure.
Here we have the classical Seat Sisens. This is an engine of 600 cubic centimeters. This car was built in Spain from 1957 till 1973. If you want to see it or...
Of course, I'm dying to see it.
If you want.
I love how detailed the upholstery is.
Yeah, this is terrific.
This is completely restored.
Yes.
Well, this car by my grandmother.
Wow.
Both new from the Seat in 1963.
so it's in the family?
It's from the family, yeah.
Ooh.
We are going to, if you want.
Nice.
There were very few models like this one.
Convertible.
The engine is back, not in front. And this is the way to... It's a very small engine.
That is so cool.
So you have everything here, the
Air-cooled
air
engine,
cooler.
of course, yes.
This is the liquid, everything, so...
At the time when the car first came into the market in Spain,
Yes.
it was the only one. It was the
The
big.
only one, yeah. It was the first car that all the Spanish people had or wants to have. It was the classical car, you know?
We can almost relate that to our Fiat's ambassadors. Then the 800,
Maybe the 800 later
Yeah.
on. Yeah.
more specifically.
Yeah, when I restored everything, I asked to the mechanic to put a seat belt. Now I am thinking about having a second children, so I will have to put another one. So
That's good planning.
This is like a child also, right?
Yeah,
For you?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
the first child.
Yeah, it's amazing.
So if you see here, this is not the original, but a copy of the 1967 stickers. Just 4 years after the car was bought.
All the engines are revving. This is a terrific sight, and the sound is fantastic. The good part is we're actually getting to join the procession.
A vida nasce no rio, o rio corre pro mar. Cidade maravilhosa, por isso é que eu vivo a cantar. Sou rio, 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 sou rio o ano inteiro. Sou rio, 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 sou Rio de Janeiro.
So what a fabulous morning we've had. It was almost surreal getting to see all those cars, the 600s. We're off to see the famous Sagrada Familia, which is the main basilica of the city of Barcelona. One of the famous examples of the work of Antoni Gaudi. He's, of course, a Catalan architect and famous around the world for a very distinct and a different architectural style. So people come from all over the world to see this basilica. What's interesting is that it isn't really complete. In fact, at the time when Gaudi died, just a quarter of this basilica was completed. Over the years, that construction has carried on, and even now you can see there's a lot of restoration work happening. So yeah, even though it's not a complete church in that sense, the Pope still consecrated it in 2010, and so it's a religious as well as a tourist destination for thousands every year. So a few kilometers ago, we entered the province of Castelló. We've left Barcelona far, far behind, and we're just rushing on towards our destination, but we've still got many kilometers to go. We've completed 11,000 kilometers, one more 1,000 added on. It's quite a fantastic feeling. This car is going strong. We are going strong as well. And we're close to Buñol, by the way. That's a place that was made famous recently in India. A lot of people know about the Tomatina festival. We're not going to get to Badajoz before, well, 11:30 or so now, I think. And so, yeah, it's going to be close to midnight by the time we actually get there. It's quaint and it's absolutely stunning. Nice little town square here in Llerena. It's beautiful, isn't it? I mean, just look at that clock tower. It's also got church bells in it. Beautiful, just really, really nice. And we're going to be heading out under this lovely blue sky today. And we are leaving Spain. Yes, we're entering our next country. So we're heading towards Nazare in Portugal. And it's thankfully not nowhere near as long a drive as yesterday's. Oh, this is so nice. I mean, there's a quaint charm to this village, and it's amazing how they do this. All the houses, the entire village is painted white. They all have tiled roofs. It's beautiful. So you have golden yellow grass and lots of olive plantations that we're driving through, still heading towards the Portuguese border. We've got another milestone done. 12,000 kilometers is what we have already done now on the Great Overland Adventure. And, you know, these kilometers just keep adding up. And I have to say that it feels really good. And we all get excited every time we cross one of those milestones. 12,000 and 12 countries. So Portugal will be number 13. Well over 400 kilometers driven this morning. We've come in from Llerena, of course, in Spain and crossed the border into Portugal. And here we are. What a spectacular setting. The town of Nazare back there, and the spot we are at the height, is where you have the Farol do Nazare, which is the old lighthouse. And there's, of course, a very special reason why we're here. Garett McNamara has the world record when it comes to surfing the highest wave, and this is the spot where it happened, because this is where the world's surfers come for the most giant waves, and I'm told they can go as high as 10 stories of a building. Well, that's not going to happen today, because that happens usually at the start of the winter, but, you know, we'll still show you some waves, and of course, let's go meet Garett. Garett, thank you for spending time with us today. You've met Ishan already. And the spot, I mean, that makes it more special too for you, I know.
Yeah, we actually got married in this lighthouse.
Really?
Right in the front, yeah.
Wow, so
yeah,
it's two things.
The most special place
Close
on
to your
earth
heart.
for me. The first time we got here was 2010, and we just got an email from one of the local people here, and he said, please come to my town and see if the waves are any good, and see if they're big, and if you like it, maybe you can help us put an event together. And we emailed for about 5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Wow.
And then my wife saw the email. She's all, what's this? I'm like, oh, this guy wants me to come to Portugal. And she's like, do you want to go? I said, yeah. And then next month we were there. That's what a good woman will do for you.
The right push at the right time.
Yeah. First time I got here, there's a stairs that goes down. You can walk all the way to the bottom, and the biggest waves I ever saw. I've traveled the whole world looking for the biggest waves, and they were bigger than anywhere. And I was like, ta-da, the Holy Grail. That's what I thought to myself.
You certainly heard the violins and the whole symphony.
Yeah, that was it. We wait all year for the big 60-foot waves in Hawaii, and they never come. Maybe once a year. Here, 60 feet 30 times, and bigger, 80 feet, 100 feet. The waves, you know, they do something special here because the canyon causes the waves to come down the canyon really fast. And then over here's a big shelf. They go slow down the shelf and fast down the canyon, and then they make a wedge. So the magic wave comes, doesn't have to be the biggest swell, but when the magic wave hits, then it wedges bigger. It's mind-boggling. And looking at it, you're like, but when you're coming down it, you're like, it's two different.
Yeah.
Where are you guys from? What's it like in India where you are?
Well, I mean, I of course come from Delhi, so does Ishan, and surfing per se hasn't been sort of traditionally something that people have done, but maybe you need to come in there and popularize it for us.
I would love to explore it and see what's there and just enjoy your culture and see a different way of life. I think that's what life's all about, new experiences, enjoying different cultures, meeting new people, and sharing.
This was a first-of-its-kind experience for me. I was in a wetsuit in the sea, far away from the shore. We were all on the jet ski, and Garett took us through the waves, almost riding right through it. It was scary and fun at the same time. At one point, he also toppled me into the water. It was a bit of a shocking surprise, but I enjoyed it thoroughly. From being on a jet ski to a paddleboard and cutting through the water at a very fast speed, What an experience. This was one of the most exhilarating experiences of my life. I am thrilled that I got this opportunity, and with none other than Garett.
Thank you so much. Nice to meet you guys.
Nice to meet you.
I am really looking forward to seeing you guys in India.
Yes,
So.
we are
looking forward to seeing you in India.
Vem pela gringa na areia, da praia de Copacabana. É uma pelada safada, mas é sagrada uma vez por semana.
The Praça do Comércio, that's where we are. It's the heart of Lisbon because it's considered the town center. And of course, in English, that translates to the Commerce Square. But that's more of a modern name, if you will, because traditionally this particular spot is where you had the Grand Palace that used to have this fantastic view across to the Tagus River. Now, in the earthquake of 1755, which flattened large parts of Lisbon city, the palace was destroyed as well. And so this is, if you will, a modern interpretation. I said modern a little lightly because, of course, 1755 was a long time ago. Now, all the tourists love coming here. It's a nice big square, and you can see people hanging around, taking lots of pictures. And it's a nice sunny day, so why not?
Que pela toda gostosa, já é famosa, não vai tá rachando. Tô dentro, nessa pelada eu vou porrada e arrebento.
The Rio Tejo, or the Tagus River, is pretty much what helped Lisbon to get established as a major city, historically speaking, because this is where the river empties out into the Atlantic Ocean, and the river itself is the longest on the Iberian Peninsula, and it ends its journey at this point, which is almost the westernmost tip, almost, and that's pretty much the same kind of feeling that we have because we're almost at the end of our journey on the European continent. But we do have a few little nuggets and surprises still for you, so let me not waste any more time. So tucked away into Lisbon, both of us have found a very interesting place. Ishan, that looks very promising.
That looks very, very promising indeed. I mean, I think we are both Porsche fans, and seeing that number of Porsches, especially 911 standing, that's a special sight.
Classic ones at that. Hi there.
Welcome.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Hello, Ishan. How are
Good
you?
to see you.
Well, we are an online magazine. It's our office
Yeah.
is here. Well, it's mainly full of Porsches and classic Porsches mainly. We have it for 2 years now. We are one of the biggest online magazines in Portugal. Our weekly list is 600,000 people on Facebook each week that read our posts. We have 75,000 followers. Portugal is a very small country. Well, it's a very good number because
Yeah,
it's
that is
pretty
a good
impressive
number.
number.
For
Yes.
automotive, I think that's a great number.
Yes.
But how cool is that you have an office upstairs from this place? I mean, who gets that lucky? I think that's great.
one.
No one,
The
yeah.
answer is no one. And you can actually touch, it's real.
It's not a hologram, yeah.
No, it's not a hologram.
Do you guys do road trips out of here as well, or do you do
Well,
any kind of...
not often. We travel a lot, but unfortunately, most of the time it's by plane. So maybe sometime we need to go to India
You should
and
come- you should
go
come to a drive in India,
and
yeah.
pick up a car and go to India and make a road trip. That would be nice. Well,
This
that's
one, yeah. I'll join you.
We dress
This one.
like James Dean and we go.
okay.
You want to see a special one we have here?
Yes.
Actually, this is a 935. It's the only one left with this chassis number. It is a track car. It's also a hill climb car, so with two different gearbox modes. So it's a very special car.
Does the engine mode also change for hill climbs and tracks?
Yes. This has been restored recently. It was not easy to find all the parts.
So how long did it take from the time the car came in and then the
maybe
work
6
was finished?
months.
Wow. There's the rest of it at the back there. If you want to catch a quick glimpse of it, it's just all the livery on it. Very special. Oh, wow. That's the form and the shape that started it all, right? The famous coupe line.
It's going to be fully restored too. Maybe the next time you come here, it will be, yes, it will be ready, so we can drive it. Now we are going to show you our office. This is where we work and where we develop the websites.
Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
That is very cool.
You have some models that made history in the Portuguese rallies.
Oh. And that's a turbo.
Actually, this one here,
Yeah.
it's
Most winning 935 probably.
yes, because
yeah.
it has the circle
Fog lamps, yeah.
Yes.
Man. Thank you. Thanks for the
Thank you very
opportunity.
much. Thank you
Great to
so
meet
much.
you.
Thank you.
And thank you for also
Thank you, dear.
coming and being a little part of this with us. It was very nice of you. Thank you.
Okay.
And we are very envious of you. I'm very envious.
Yeah,
of you.
this is the best office I've ever seen, I think. Ever, hands down.
Have a nice trip.
Yeah, you can do that.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See you next time.
So, of course, logic told us that we should get out of the city, start driving towards the Spanish border and get to Badajoz on time. But we haven't quite followed logic right through this trip, have we? And so, which is why we decided that we'll be our greedy selves and try and get in a little bit more, a few more kilometers. And I had a little selfish ulterior motive because I've been to this point in Portugal twice before. I've driven on this particular road that we are on right now, coming out of Lisbon. This is really, really beautiful. And you also have this great view of the ocean. What more could you ask for? So back in the city, I was talking about being at the westernmost part of the European continent. And then, like I said, we got greedy because we decided we will make the trek out to the physical point of that landmass, which is the westernmost. You can kind of see a silhouette of the landmass jutting out. Well, this is where we are now. And I've been hyping it up in terms of the kind of fantastic view you get from this point, looking out to sea. Yeah. Wow. Now you know what I'm talking about. $13,213. That's the final figure we've ended up with for the actual distance covered on the European continent. And it's kind of bittersweet seeing my name being ripped off the car like that because, of course, Sirish and Ausuf's names are going to be on the car now. Of course, we've made it here. We are on time in terms of the paperwork, so my worries were a little bit unfounded. Hey, man.
See you, man.
Take care. I don't have the Morocco visa, you know. I mean, otherwise I might have had a little trouble.
And it.
All yours.
It's going to be exciting. So is that an understatement? It's going to be epic. Is that also an understatement? It's going to be super awesome. Hashtag super awesome.
It's going to be all of that, and it's going to be more than that. So enjoy.